Hi, my name's Christine Kaur and I am the CEO and founder of People Coach. And today I'm speaking to Elaine Karsaklian, who is a professor at the Sorbonne, a professor at the University of Illinois in Chicago, amongst other things. And we're going to talk about diversity, inclusion, and what it's like working as a woman in this really complex world. So I wanted to ask you just about that, about what do you think that women can do to encourage or support themselves, to elevate themselves to be the best that they can be?
Well, women are people, men are people, and what you just described as we all go through the same things. Perhaps not at the same time, perhaps not the same way, but we all go through the same issues in our professional lives. So I think that the way of going through that is not telling yourself every day, I'm a woman and I need to do my job and show that I'm able to do my job. Um, we are people, and people are people. And people, to me, my definition of people is a set of technical skills and a set of values. The values have to do with our culture and more than with our race.
Mm-hmm.
And our skills have to do with our field experience and education. That's it. So a diverse team is diverse in terms of values and skills, and diversity should bring together all these valuable contributions, bring people together. That is the role of a leader.
One thing I did want to talk to you about is, because you've got so much knowledge working in Europe as well as the US, I want to understand your view of not just gender diversity, but racial and other diversity, because you're right in the mix of the Black Lives Matter movement and all sorts of different things there. Can you sort of take us through what you're seeing as an academic or working in both of those universities? What's your view?
Well, my view is that things are changing radically. And as a follow up on what you just said, times evolve and the same thing goes from bad to good and from good to bad. In the beginning of my career, people wouldn't care about me. I was a woman and I was always a foreigner because I was always working abroad. And sometimes people would say, why would I work with you? And I would answer, because I'm different and I can give you a fresh perspective. And what was a drawback by now, today is an advantage. I am international, I am diverse, and I am a woman. So you see, and I am still the same person. And I just have more skills now because I have more experience. That's all that changed, but I'm still the same person. So others people's point of view change now. So we go from positive to negative or from negative to positive. As for the BLM movement, it's extremely strong in the US, of course, and is flipping actually the the society and the situation. So now there are plenty. As for the women, there are plenty of places and associations that are only for Black people or Black women. So there are universities only for Black students. There are for example, Black women, because they are minority, women and Black, they have their tuition waived on some universities. And there are also this call for shopping in Black owned shops and hiring Black consultants and so forth, creating products for Black people. So a minority as women and Black, it's turning to leaders in the market. So I think it is a way of, let's say, compensating all the bad all these people went through for being women and for being Black. But when you do that, you can't call it diversity,
Yeah.
because diversity, from my definition of diversity, is all is all genders, all cultures, all colors of skin, and all opinions. And today we are in a society that we are not that free to give our opinion, because if you go counter flow, you are not welcome anymore.
Mm,
So we are obliged to accept things that pretty much are imposed by the media, traditional and social media. And we are all taking the standpoint that everyone is supposed to enjoy diversity, what is not true. Some people are for diversity, some people are against diversity. But that doesn't bother me that much, because we are free. As you said, we can like blue, we can like red, and no one can oblige you to like a color that you don't. But what I think, again, that selecting people as a coach, for example, if you're thinking about diversity and inclusion, selecting people based on their gender, the color of their skin, is again not acknowledging their skills as
mm,
professionals. And to me, that is an issue. That is a concern, because all people, independently on race and gender and color of skin and culture, all people are valuable contributions in companies. And but if we only focus on gender and the color of the skin, then it is, I think it is an issue, because we are not taking all the good we can take from them. And another thing that bothers me in the situation is that now all companies are disclosing their figures, as I said before. Here are how many women, how many in the US, African Americans and Hispanic Americans and Asian Americans and so forth. So they are very proud of their figures. But my question would be, why didn't you do it before? I mean, did you need, as a company, as a leader, to wait until there were movements like BLM to realize that you need a diverse workforce? There was nothing preventing companies from hiring women, all races, all genders before, and they didn't do so. And now, because this is the trend, and there is a backlash on all companies that don't show how diverse they are. Now, all companies became diverse and inclusive, and that is a question I ask myself: why didn't you do that before? Why didn't you
oh,
hire all races and all genders? So there is a lot of confusion, and that bothers me very much, because people get confused. And because of all this pressure about diversity and inclusion, so people think that diversity and inclusion is a solution for all the issues that we have in companies and society. And I don't think so. And if you don't handle your diversity and inclusion policy well, it can backfire. So diversity and inclusion is extremely important, but you need to know what you're doing and how you are doing that. If you are just doing it because you need to ride the waves of diversity and inclusion, because you are scared at having a backlash and people boycotting your company because you are not diverse enough, then I think that you're taking risks. But if you do it because you know what you're doing and you need that diversity and you can lead a diverse team, then that is perfect.